Hi, and welcome back to the Sales Growth Showcase, where we share insights with some of today's top sales leaders so that you can make more money and be more connected to your customers. I am joined today by Paul Sandford. Paul, why don't you briefly tell us a little bit about who you are and how you impact others?
Sure. Hi, Mark. Hi, everyone. I am a Sandler trainer based over in the UK, and I work with really ambitious leaders of businesses that they're doing well. They want to take their business to the next level, and they've got the humility to recognise that sales is a bottleneck for growth. They can just do more, and they've got the capacity to do more. And typically it's because they're looking to have an exit strategy at some time, or they just want less stress in their life, or they just recognise that there is a market opportunity for them, and they're just looking for more satisfaction and less stress in their life. So what we do is we help them by bringing in systems, processes, upgrading their sales skill capability. And typically some of the challenges that they might be facing are, they're frustrated that, they or their team are not able to get in front of those decision makers. They're spending a lot of time with people that can say yes rather than no. That might not be so much of an issue. It might be that they're really frustrated that they or their team are wasting a lot of time with people that are never going to buy, and that just prolongs the whole sales process. The win rates aren't really where they want them to be, and it's just so much more difficult to forecast where the business is going to be. And sometimes that's really working well. It's just that they're frustrated that they're not getting paid what they're worth. They're having to give away discount and margin. And that just means they're working harder rather than smart. So yeah, we bring in this systematic approach, this methodology to sales. And then when people use the Sandler selling system, it's proven effective and it works. Everybody in the company is selling in a consistent way. Everybody is able to actually have that common communication language. And we measure the results through increases in win rates. Time to productivity for new starters goes down by about 50%. And what we can do is something like 78% of salespeople hit their quota when they're using Sandler. So it's a really, really proven effective way of selling. But ultimately, the downside for some people is that proposals are going to go down and sales are going to go up. So I don't know whether that's the right approach for everybody. Maybe not.
Well, you already shared with us some of the challenges and certainly the opportunities going on. I want to focus in specifically. Let's start with one of the key challenges. You talked about increasing win rates, about being connected to your customers. As you're working with some of your clients, what do you see, especially kind of emerging from lockdown, more and more virtual sales happening today? What is one key area of challenge that you see a lot of your clients struggling with?
I think that one of the biggest challenges is for salespeople to have more confidence in themselves. We call it equal business status. And one of the challenges is that, I'm working with, small companies, but I'm also working with some corporates like Salesforce is one of my clients in the UK, where I'm working with about 35 of their account executives and their business development representatives. And one of the biggest challenges that I hear is that they don't always feel totally sort of in control of the sales process. And ultimately, what they do is before they sort of understand how people buy. People buy emotionally. They only decide intellectually. It is the research that we've done. And so what they end up doing is they spend a lot of time selling what we call like features and benefits without really understanding the real personal, compelling and emotional reasons why the other person wants to change. So what they do is they end up giving away a lot of free consulting. They end up wasting a lot of time with people that are never going to say yes, and they end up sounding like everybody else out there. So what we like to get them to do is to is to think, act, and interact a little bit differently, because I think one of the key things is that there's so much competition out there, and it's so easy for the buyers to compare sort of like for like. And then when they're doing that, guess what happens? The thing that they then use as a comparison is price. And then that then means that the price is being driven down. So it's not good for everybody. So one of the things that we say is, look, you are the difference. You as the individual, you can be the difference as to why one person selects you over and above another vendor. And indeed, change the paradigm from you qualifying them if you feel that they're a good fit for you, and sometimes they're not a good fit.
I absolutely love that, Paul. Thank you for sharing. I think so many times you talked about confidence and how you work with your clients to turn that around. I think so many times salespeople do feel somewhat on their back foot of like, I'm asking for something from them. I need something. I need them to purchase my product or service. And it isn't until you understand the true value that your organization, your product offers, and you go out and it's up to you to find the right people to take advantage of that value, connect it with them by understanding what it is their pain point, that it gives you that new sense of confidence that it's not you needing something from them, it's you having something to offer to them.
Yeah, no, I think that's really well put, Mark.
So with that, now let's talk about a great area of opportunity. There certainly are so many, but the state of sales has changed so much just in the last year alone. What do you see? Are your clients telling you are the key area of opportunity that this new world of work has opened up?
Well, I think that's a great question. And I'm 56. I've got a 28-year-old son that's in sales, and I'm obviously working a lot with junior and veterans. But I think the biggest thing really is that the increase in productivity is, to me, absolutely massive. And the whole thing around, depending on, the sort of things that you're selling, whether it's into sort of the SME marketplace or if it's more into enterprise, but the ability to be able to have more conversations, to me, is the massive opportunity. Because, with technology now being available, we can get access to data. And, if we've got the confidence to be able to reach out, coming back to that key thing again, the belief, the conviction that, I have the cure for COVID, but hey, you might have already had a vaccination, or I can help people to live to the 150, but hey, you might not want to live that long. That mindset gives us a great opportunity for ourselves to either do more for more, which means that, linking it back to our own personal happiness and income, there's an opportunity to do more for more, or more for less. When you think about the reduction in traveling time, the well-being, I think the fact that, we've got this opportunity to sell enterprise deals still remotely is a big opportunity for us, and also for our clients in those two personal areas, more for more, more for less.
Yeah, definitely an opportunity with us having to travel less, us being able to have access to information quicker, and more diverse set of information at our fingertips. Then productivity does increase, and I really appreciate you sharing sort of the both. Does that, you have a choice to make? Does that mean that you're working more and building because you can do more, or are you taking advantage of being able to step away from work more and be able to and have more balance in your life? So.
Yeah, I think last year one of my clients, she sold an enterprise deal to a large hotel chain, all done virtually, and it was a huge deal, and it was just incredible that she was able to pull the team together using Teams or Zooms. The customer was okay before that. So I think it's just accelerated mindset change so dramatically.
Well, you mentioned that you are a more seasoned seller and you have an opportunity to work with younger sellers as those of us that are more seasoned, just like yourself. Let's say you meet somebody younger, they share with you that they're just stepping into a sales leadership role and they want to be highly successful. What is one nugget of advice you would pass on to them?
Well, into a sales leadership role, not a sales role.
A sales leadership role.
Okay. I think the one nugget I would pass on to them is that the key dynamic is changing from being able to manage data to manage thought. So being able to really connect on a sort of one-to-one human level with another human being to be able to coach them. Because, you know, the evidence out there is that coaching increases something like engagement by 180%. You know, and who wouldn't want that discretionary effort?
That's fantastic. I love that. Don't manage data, manage thought.
I think the data and the thought together, you know, not because I think a lot of sales leaders, I know one in particular who's a great guy. He got bogged down with the data and he neglected, you know, the leading the people, understanding people. And then you have the other type of leader that's very much focused on maybe the coaching, but it's not very good at, you know, process, data management, and there's a gap there in their capability. But if I had one piece of advice, I would head more towards the people side.
Yeah, all right, great. Thank you so much for sharing. Well, Paul, I really appreciate all the insights that you shared with us. It's a short period of time, but you shared quite a bit there, and I really do appreciate it. Undoubtedly, you have folks in your life that have tremendous insights like yourself, perhaps have shared with you or helped you in your career. Is there anyone that you would like to acknowledge, and perhaps I should invite them on the show?
No, that's a great question. Thank you, Mark, for asking. I'd like to invite my coach. So we all need a coach. And Tom Facto out of the US. And, you know, he has been so impactful on my life from a professional perspective and also from a personal perspective. So yeah, I'd like to shout out to Tom and thank him for everything he's done for me and Jody, my partner. And yeah, I would love him to get that recognition. So thank you for asking the question, Mark.
Oh, you bet. And thank you for mentioning Tom. I'll follow up with you afterwards. I would look forward to connecting with him and inviting him on the show. Thank you, Paul, for taking the time to do this. It's early in the U.S. for me and late afternoon over in England for you. So I appreciate you jumping on the Sales Growth Showcase with me and sharing your insights and experiences.
You're welcome, Mark.
And thank you, folks, for joining us on another episode. And I hope that you're subscribed so that you will be notified of upcoming episodes. And until next time, I hope you reach invincible success.